Maya Collins pressed her palm against the cool glass of the greenhouse dome and watched the alien stars rotate beyond. The research station hummed quietly around her, a small bubble of Earth suspended in the void. She moved between rows of experimental wheat, checking moisture levels and growth patterns. These plants could feed thousands of colony worlds someday if her calculations proved correct. The lights flickered once, then twice. Maya froze. Power fluctuations were never good signs in deep space. Emergency protocols activated automatically, bathing the greenhouse in dim red lighting. Through the glass partition separating her section from the main corridor, she saw movement. A shadow crossed the hallway, tall and unnaturally fluid. Maya dropped behind a planter box, her heart hammering. The station AI should have alerted her to any docking procedures. Whatever had just boarded did so without permission or announcement. The greenhouse door slid open with a soft hiss. Maya held her breath, peering through the leaves of a tomato plant. The figure that entered stood nearly 7 feet tall, humanoid but clearly not human. Pale skin seemed to glow faintly in the emergency lighting, and when the being turned, Maya saw eyes like pools of liquid darkness. No whites, no iris, just endless black. The alien woman wore form-fitting armor that looked organic rather than manufactured. Deep purple that shifted to black depending on the angle. She carried a device in one hand, watching it pulse with soft blue light as she scanned the room. Maya noticed the way the alien moved. Predatory grace mixed with something else. Pain. There was dark blood seeping through a crack in the armor near her ribs. Maya's scientific training warred with her survival instinct. The alien was clearly injured and searching for something. Perhaps medical supplies. Perhaps a place to hide. Maya made a decision that her friends back on Earth would have called either brave or foolish. She stood up slowly, hands visible and empty. The alien spun toward her, the scanning device transforming into something that looked distinctly weapon-like. They stared at each other across 10 feet of experimental crops. A metallic voice suddenly emerged from a collar at the alien's throat, translating her words into English. Human. You will not interfere. Maya swallowed hard but kept her voice steady. You're hurt. I have medical supplies and knowledge of xenobiology. I can help? The alien's head tilted slightly. Why would you offer assistance to an intruder? Because you're bleeding and I'm a scientist, not a soldier. Helping things grow and heal is what I do. Maya gestured at the plants surrounding them. These aren't weapons. This is a research station. The alien's weapon lowered slightly. She swayed, catching herself against a support beam. I am Zephyra of the Voidwalkers. My people will come for me soon. Being near me places you in danger. Then we should probably work fast. Maya moved slowly toward her medical kit mounted on the wall. I'm Maya Collins, botanist and apparently amateur medic today. Sit down before you fall down. Something that might have been surprise crossed Zephyra's alien features. She allowed herself to sink onto a bench near the hydroponic tanks. Maya approached with her kit, pulling out antiseptic and regenerative gel she'd synthesized from local plant compounds. I need to access the wound, Maya said. Zephyra touched her armor and it retracted like living tissue, revealing pale skin and a deep gash that oozed dark blood. Maya worked efficiently, cleaning and sealing the injury while Zephyra watched her with those fathomless eyes. Your hands shake, Zephyra observed. I'm terrified, Maya admitted, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't help. Curious. My people would call that weakness. Maya applied the regenerative gel carefully. My people call it humanity. Zephyra was quiet for a moment. I am fleeing my own kind. They wish to execute me for refusing a bonding ceremony. Among Voidwalkers, we mate for life through blood bonds. It is always arranged for political advantage. I refuse to surrender my choice. Maya secured a bandage over the wound. So you ran. I have been observing your species since we discovered Earth 3 cycles ago. Your transmissions, your art, your music. You feel so deeply despite living such brief spans. My people deemed you weak and primitive, but I found you fascinating. Zephyra's dark eyes fixed on Maya. Why do humans fight so hard when you have so little time? Maya sat back considering. Because time being short makes it more precious, not less. I lost my parents and brother to a pandemic 5 years ago. I could have given up, but instead I came out here. If I can develop crops that help colonies survive, maybe their deaths meant something. Maybe I can prevent other families from losing what I lost. You transform grief into purpose. We try to. Doesn't always work, but we try. Zephyra reached out slowly, her long fingers hovering near Maya's hand but not quite touching. You are not weak. Your people are warriors of a different kind. The moment shattered as alarms blared throughout the station. Red lights strobed urgently. Maya's console lit up with an incoming transmission that activated automatically. 3 Void Walkers appeared on the screen. Their armor more elaborate than Zephyra's, marked with symbols of authority. Zephyra, daughter of the Void, you are commanded to return for judgment. Surrender yourself and the primitive who harbors you will be spared. Maya felt Zephyra tense beside her. They will destroy this station if I refuse. You should let me go. Instead, Maya stood and faced the screen. This is Maya Collins, head researcher of this facility. Zephyra requested asylum and medical aid, which I provided. She stays under my protection. The lead hunter, a male Void Walker with scars crossing his face, laughed. Human, you cannot protect her. You have no weapons, no warriors, no power here. I have something better, Maya said, her voice stronger than she felt. I have principles. The right to choose your own path, to refuse bonds you don't want, to live free. Those aren't human ideas, those are universal truths. If you want Zephyra, you'll have to go through me. The lead hunter's expression shifted from amusement to something resembling respect. You would die for an outcast not of your species. I would fight for anyone's right to freedom. That's what humans do. Then we shall test this human courage. By ancient law, I challenge you to single combat. If you prevail, Zephyra gains asylum. If you fall, we take her and erase this station from existence. Maya's stomach dropped, but she forced herself to nod. I accept, Zephyra grabbed her arm. Maya, no. They are trained warriors. You cannot win, maybe not. But I can try. Maya managed a shaky smile. Besides, I've got home field advantage. 20 minutes later, Maya stood in the station's cargo bay, hastily armored in an emergency vac suit. The Void Walker hunting party had boarded, forming a circle around the designated combat area. The lead hunter, who identified himself as Cross, towered over her with twice her mass and 4 times her combat training. You may yield at any time. Human, Cross offered, not unkindly. Not really my style. Maya's mind raced. She couldn't match him in strength or speed. But this was her station, her territory, and she knew every system intimately. Cross moved first, impossibly fast. Maya dove aside, slapping a control panel as she rolled. The gravity in Cross's section reduced to 1/4 normal. He stumbled, thrown by the sudden shift. Maya stayed in normal gravity, using the boundary between zones as a weapon. She led him on a chase through the bay, manipulating environmental controls she'd spent years mastering. Increased gravity slowed him down. Sudden bursts of steam from coolant vents obscured his vision. She grabbed chemical compounds from her emergency supplies, creating slick patches and smoke screens. Cross adapted quickly, but Maya stayed ahead through pure determination and intimate knowledge of her environment. When he finally cornered her, she was ready. She'd rigged a cargo net above with industrial adhesive she'd synthesized for plant studies. It dropped, tangling him in sticky fibers strong enough to hold spacecraft components together. He struggled, impressed despite himself. Clever. Maya stood over him, breathing hard, holding a welding torch like a weapon. Yield, Cross laughed, a sound like grinding stones. I yield. The human fights with cunning and refuses to surrender. This is worthy of respect. He looked at his fellow hunters. By combat law, the outcast is granted asylum. The other Void Walkers nodded, helping Cross free himself. He approached Maya, studying her carefully. You did not win through power. You won through innovation and courage. Perhaps we misjudged your species. After the hunters departed, Maya found Zephyra waiting in the greenhouse, standing among the plants like she belonged there. The alien woman turned as Maya entered, her dark eyes reflecting the stars beyond the dome. You risked everything, Zephyra said softly. Why? Maya shrugged, exhausted but satisfied. Because it was right. Because everyone deserves to choose their own path. Because that's what makes us human, I guess. Zephyra stepped closer. Among my people, saving a life creates a blood debt. But more than that, your actions today showed me what true strength means. Not domination, but the courage to care. She extended her hand, palm up. I offer you the blood bond not as obligation, but as choice, as equals. As partners who chose each other. Maya looked at the offered hand, then up at those endless dark eyes. She thought about her small life, her quiet research, her simple dreams of helping others. And she thought about this alien woman who valued freedom enough to risk death, who saw beauty and humanity at a